recent international success, it's clear rugby is on an upward trajectory in the USA. And one competition that's helping to elevate the sport to new levels is North America's only professional rugby competition.
MLR stands for Major League Rugby. It's the newest professional league in the United States. So it's a setup of 7 teams. You played some teams twice, some teams once, and we played around 4 home games and 4 away games. And then we had a semi-final, and then we had the final.
With the showpiece final pitting the league's top 2 sides against each other, the interest and success of the inaugural season was self-evident.
There's a true need in this country to have rugby become relevant in the general sports arena, not just in the rugby arena. And to do that, you need to have a major league. It not only gives that aspirational location, but it also sinks its roots down into every community. So San Diego here has youth programs, and they'll invite more youth. More youth bring more athletes. More athletes means we capture more of the elite athletes, means the Eagles get better, and means the sport raises.
The MLR is massive for North American rugby. It's getting harder and harder for North American players to get overseas visas or to play for overseas clubs. So to have something you can play rugby professionally in your backyard, it's huge. For me, near the end of my career, it's pretty refreshing to see that there's a future in it. And I think MLR is here to stay. I'm just excited for the young kids coming through high school, and there's something right on their doorstep to go for. To me, it's grown week in, week out. It started off and each team was trying to find their identity and what type of style of rugby they want to play. And you see the growth every week that every team had. And as the season progressed, there were some really competitive games. It was pretty awesome.
I think that it's definitely moving in the right direction. And the big thing about rugby in the US is that it hasn't been able to be broadcast in every person's home in America. And now that you're getting live broadcasts on CBS Sport, I'm getting text messages from people who know nothing about rugby and saying, hey, I saw you playing on the weekend, that's awesome. Like, I love rugby, I've never seen it before. So, I mean, the more homes rugby is broadcast and the more people that see it, it's just going to do wonders for the game. And as the MLR progresses year after year, it's just going to do fantastic things.
While the league's popularity continues to grow, the impact of having 7 new full-time training environments has brought an added benefit for the national team.
I think it's finally creating that pathway for young American players to something to aspire to. There's always been the Eagles, but no one's really known how they can get themselves in front of the coaches or what are my steps to be an Eagle. It's always been, I'll go play rugby overseas and maybe I'll get called back to come play for the Eagles. I think now there's a clear route of what you can take to be identified to play for your country now.
The big thing in terms of the US Eagles is that all the local players have a ball in their hand more than they ever have before. So for myself, example of training more than I ever had before, I don't have to worry about trying to get a job between February, June and November, so I don't have to worry about that. And like the biggest thing is just the competition. You're playing week in, week out and just getting better every time. So when you go into tour, it's not a drastic change because you have the same thing, you have the same training environment. So it's doing wonders and it's only going to get better too.
You're not trying to play catch up, with a bunch of amateurs with the Eagles. So now, this is a straight transition into a regular week. And you're not worried so much about overtraining the guys. You're not worried about, they're underprepared. Everybody's getting ready for that game. And I think everybody played for the Eagles this year is a full-time professional now, which is only, to the benefit of Gary Gold's team and the Eagles. And I think you saw that a little bit this June. I think you'll see it in November. And I think you'll see it, maybe not at this World Cup so much because it's a bit close, but definitely for the ones down the line.
With Seattle claiming the MLR's first title with an impressive victory over Glendale, attention now turns towards the future.
We are set up to be here next year and the next year. This is only successful if it continues for a long, long time. This is not something that you can measure as a success in a single year, but this year was very much a success.
Got to be a little bit careful how they grow and how fast they grow, just to do with the player pool in this country. And obviously you've got the referee pool as well to manage that as well. They've got to grow that area, but I think the player pool, it is what it is at the moment. You don't want to bring too many foreign players in, because then that takes away from the opportunities from US grown players. It also takes away the opportunity for the Eagles to progress. And we want to see that at the highest standard as possible, so then we get more fans in the stadium. Because American fans, whether they know rugby or don't know rugby, they know what a good product is. You know, so they want to come out, they want to see the best teams playing against each other week in, week out. And I think if you keep the teams at like 9 or 10 for the next 5 years, then I think that's the best way to grow this game in this country, because then you'll see just the product on the pitch being so much better.